So recently I put out a video sharing with people why they should avoid South Carolina. I actually love it here in South Carolina. So this video I'm going to give you about 10 or so reasons on why you should truly consider moving to South Carolina. And if you're a younger adult in your late 20s, in your 30s, or early 40s, you're going to want to stick around for reasons 7 and 8. All right, let's jump right in. Retirement. Traditionally, the main reason why people move to South Carolina is to retire. South Carolina is a destination place for retirees, and according to an article from the Greenville News, over 36% of the people moving to South Carolina actually do so because of retirement. I'll get back to why South Carolina is such an attractive place for retirees in 1 second. But I want to clear up something real quick. South Carolina is not just recently a destination spot because of the pandemic. In 2015, South Carolina was ranked the second most popular destination for people to move to. And in 2016, South Carolina ranked 5th. And then in 2017, South Carolina fell all the way to 7th. But the fact remains, South Carolina offers a unique set of qualities that makes the Palmetto State very attractive for a lot of different people to move to. All right, back to talking about retirees moving to South Carolina. If you enjoy playing golf, fishing, or enjoy the mountains or ocean, you will love retirement right here in South Carolina. And I'm not even going to talk about the beaches. Just to be clear. Now, I said beaches. Beaches. I just want to be clear. Now, when I tell people that they should consider moving to South Carolina, a lot of them get a mental picture of backcountry, big truck driving, pig wrestling, hand fishing country folk. And while there is absolutely nothing wrong with people who check all of those boxes, South Carolina actually offers a huge amount of diversity when it comes to people. And don't be shocked if some of those people who you least expect end up being one of your good friends. South Carolina does have decent sized cities and suburbs, and yes, those cities are modern cities, but South Carolina also offers small towns and country living. Like most places, you'll find a little bit of everything right here in South Carolina. The next reason why you should consider moving to South Carolina is because of the weather. For all of my people that are thinking about moving here from the Midwest or the Northeast, you will not have to worry about bringing your heavy winter coats down here, because I literally wear a black t-shirt or a black polo 90% of the time. And if the temperature does drop, I put on a black sweatshirt. The average temperature in South Carolina is about 64 degrees, with the annual lows being around 50 degrees. The warm, sunny temperament here in South Carolina means that you, as a resident, get to spend at least 7 to 9 months outside enjoying this weather. Now, I do have to give you a slight caveat. As I'm filming this, we just had a snowstorm. And what we call a snowstorm here in the Carolinas, you all up north and in the Midwest just call a random Tuesday. But it was the Great Blizzard of 2022. Greenville, South Carolina got 5.5 inches of snow. Spartanburg got a whole 8 inches of snow. Now that is an insane amount of snow for people living here in South Carolina. In South Carolina and the Carolinas in general, we don't really know how to deal with the snow. The whole state shuts down. But families and friends do take advantage of the situation, and they have a blast playing in the snow. Now, back to talking about the weather. The warm climate is reason enough for people to move down here to South Carolina, but I have to caution you. It does get humid, and the heat almost gets unbearable in July and August. But I will personally take 2 months of unbearable humidity and heat over 5 months of snow and cold any day of the week. Another reason why South Carolina is so attractive to so many people is because of the nature and outdoor space and activities that the state provides. It is not uncommon to know someone right outside the city limits with acres and acres of land. And after being on lockdown and confined to your home, many people have been drawn to South Carolina because of the amount of land and yard space you get when you buy a home. About 1 in every 3 people I talk to about moving here want to have at least a half-acre yard so they can have their own space. South Carolina has over 45 state parks, and those parks cover over 80,000 acres. So if you're a nature person and appreciate the outdoors, you will love the options that South Carolina provides you. And I can't mention the outdoors without mentioning the sunsets here in South Carolina. Now I know, arguably sunsets anywhere can be classified as beautiful and perfect, but most of the sunsets here in South Carolina are absolutely stunning, even in most of the cities, because the sunsets are unmolested by big skyscrapers. Here's a time lapse of a sunset I took in Columbia, South Carolina, right downtown, and I took it in December of 2021. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm about to glance over the next few reasons on why South Carolina is such an attractive place and why you should consider moving here. Family. People are moving to South Carolina to be closer to family. The next reason why you should consider moving to South Carolina is the culture. I can do a whole video, probably 2 videos, talking about the various cultures that are prevalent in South Carolina and why different people are attracted to move here and connect with that culture. In South Carolina, you have a heavy influence of Native American culture. You have the antebellum culture, as South Carolina was the first state to secede from the Union due to them wanting to maintain and grow the practice of slavery. And then you also have the Gullah and Geechee culture, which is truly a story about perseverance, assimilation, and a will to survive. Again, I don't want to feel like I'm glossing over any of those topics that I mentioned, but each of those could literally have their own video, and I know you didn't come here for all that. I'm just here to give you the quick reasons on why you should move to South Carolina. Now let's move on. In South Carolina, almost 20% of the people who are moving here are doing so because of the jobs. Yes, South Carolina has traditionally and historically been known as one of the poorest states in our country, but the state is becoming an attractive location for employers, and when those employers come, they bring a lot of jobs with them. Cities such as Greenville, Greer, Spartanburg has been a destination spot for employers and therefore employees. And they're expected to continue to rise in population and popularity from a lot of out-of-staters. However, don't overlook smaller areas in upstate South Carolina, because those areas are on the rise too, with major developers coming in and building neighborhoods. And they're building these neighborhoods in Duncan, Piedmont, and Gray Court. Now, this is for everyone, but especially those fellow millennials. The cost of housing is one of the major reasons why you should consider and why people are moving to South Carolina. It is not uncommon to find a 3 to 5 bedroom home that is still priced in the $200,000 to $300,000 range right here in South Carolina. Here are several new construction homes in South Carolina that you can get in the $200,000 or $300,000 range. And for those people that qualify, there is a homestead exemption on a portion of your property taxes right here in South Carolina. So that makes housing costs in South Carolina attractive as well. Now, in order to get that homestead exemption, the homeowner, again, it's only for homeowners, must be over the age of 65 or totally and permanently disabled or legally blind. And let me add this. The homestead tax exemption is another reason why so many retirees make South Carolina home. Now, I told you I'll get back and talk about the beaches. The beaches. Yes, everyone knows about Myrtle Beach, and it is cool, but South Carolina is attracting many new residents because of its other amazing beaches, like the Isle of Palms, Hilton Head, which I'm sure a lot of people heard about, and then my personal favorite, Folly Beach. Do yourself a favor. When you're looking up your next trip or Airbnb, check out Folly Beach. The main reason why you should consider moving to South Carolina is because of the slower pace of life. If you want a slower pace of life and an easygoing lifestyle, South Carolina is the place for you. For the most part, people in South Carolina enjoy their privacy and space and like to move at their own pace. So, word of caution to you, do not rush people in South Carolina, because that's only going to have a negative effect. If you're driving and you beep on your horn trying to get them to hurry up, they will go even slower. And you're going to get frustrated in the moment. But after some time of living down here, you will find yourself doing the same exact thing. That's just how it is. Now, I didn't mention the food, the barbecue and the seafood, and I didn't mention college football. Yes, those are excellent reasons for staying in South Carolina, but I don't think the food and the football is reasons for you to come and move to South Carolina. South Carolina is a beautiful state, and it has its pros and cons just like any other place. I love the state, and if you're wanting to move to South Carolina, feel free to reach out to my team and I. We are here to help. I'm Sir Ashley. Talk soon.
Talk to me nice.